What's up residents, Alistair here. In May 2021, two titans are set to commence the biggest monster brawl in monster history. Godzilla, the ancient hulking titan from the bottom of the sea, and Kong, the greatest giant ape and the king of Skull Island. Fans are eager to see which would come out on top, with the overwhelming majority of fans rooting for Godzilla thanks to his sheer size and atomic breath ability, but many of them are underestimating the eighth wonder of the world. So what happens if Kong actually beats Godzilla? What happens if Kong wins? Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and stomp that notification button to become a resident of Dangerville today. Now, let's get to it. Opposed to popular belief, Kong will actually stand toe-to-toe with the king of the monsters. Being almost the same size as Godzilla means that he will not only have hard-hitting punches, but will also be more athletic and more intelligent, being able to craft tools at his own will. And if you've watched our previous videos on why we think Kong could win, such as potentially having his electrical ability from the original King Kong vs Godzilla, then there's a very real possibility that Kong could win this war. So we're going to discuss what will happen in two categories: what will happen from the story perspective and what will happen from the audience's perspective. First, we'll discuss the story. Bear in mind these are only for scenarios where Kong ends up the victor. The film may very well be different, but we're speculating nonetheless. So there's two ways the film might end. Kong ends up the victor after defeating Godzilla in a one-on-one brawl. Or Godzilla and Kong team up against a greater threat like Mechagodzilla or Mecha King Ghidorah, and Godzilla has to sacrifice himself for a greater cause, leading to Kong becoming the last titan standing. In either scenarios, Godzilla's out of the picture, so the results are the same. If either of these happens and Kong wins, what would happen? Well, like a monarch passing down the torch after their passing, Kong would become the king of the monsters. This would carry an array of responsibilities along with it, meaning he would have to pick up the slack and become a protector of the earth from whatever is thrown at it. He would become responsible for making sure the other monsters stay in their place and there isn't an uprising. If it is Godzilla that sacrifices himself to save the planet, some other titans like Methuselah or Rodan may even challenge Kong for the throne, in an attempt to become king of the monsters themselves. Kong would have to make sure an uprising does not happen because it could upset the fine balance of the planet's ecosystem, leading to total chaos. An uprising would be a next-level extinction event, which is almost what happened in Godzilla King of the Monsters. We saw what happened when Kong fell on Skull Island. Ramarak burst from the ground to lead his path of destruction on Skull Island. So imagine that, but 50 times worse. Unless someone is there to stop it. Though the problem is, Kong is a recluse. He just wants to live in peace on Skull Island and defend his people that have worshipped him for millennia. Though it is my belief that Kong is intelligent enough and honorable enough so that when the time came he would take the responsibility and become a defender for the planet, or else more than Skull Island would be at risk. Now, thanks to his higher intelligence, it's more than likely that humanity would attempt to communicate with him to some capacity. Monarch attempted this with Godzilla and was able to form a short connection with the King of the Monsters, forming an alliance to take down Ghidorah. But Kong is far more intelligent than Godzilla, and humanity's bond could be even greater. The USA's monster research group Monarch may try to initiate communication. However, various other countries like China or Russia could also attempt to form a close bond with the Titan in order to gain the upper hand, with some even wanting to control the new King of the Monsters for their own gain. Kong, being a highly territorial creature, will likely take none of it, and will make up his own mind on what he believes is the best course of action for the planet. And if communication was to be initiated, it would be under his own free will. Either way, with Godzilla gone, the fate of the planet lies in Kong's hands, and whether he can handle the crown of King of the Monsters. Now that's potentially what will happen from a story perspective, but what about an audience's perspective? What about the viewers? Well, trust me when I say that this is something that Legendary is being excruciatingly careful about. Legendary has done the market research. They will have had multiple scripts, all with alternating victors. They want to make sure the film's ending will be satisfying no matter who comes out on top. Whichever Titan is defeated, they want to make sure that fans leave the theater feeling like the monster they supported was treated with the utmost respect. The last thing they want is for 50% of the audience to turn around and critique the film just because the other monster won, because this could severely hurt the critical reception and potential box office results for the film. A lot of people would feel like they've just had a big slap on the face for spending years of their lives supporting the series, so they would need to make sure this doesn't happen, and there are ways of achieving this. I hate to make this comparison, but in Batman v Superman, even though Superman technically lost, his death was treated as a tragic event. It was respectful to the character, and the whole world mourned. It made sure that even though Batman was still alive by the end of the film, that it didn't take the focus away from Superman, who in the eyes of Batman had redeemed himself. Considering the ending of King of the Monsters, it seems that Godzilla is looked at favorably by the majority of the population, with people even going on cruises in hopes of catching a mere glimpse of him. He's seen as the Titan that saved the world time and time again, and his death would indeed be a time of great sorrow for the people of Earth, the same people he protected. So if Legendary were to go this route in Godzilla vs. Kong, it would at least make Godzilla fans recognize that the monster they supported is being respected, and given just as much, if not more attention than Kong. Legendary doesn't want to make the same mistake that Jurassic Park 3 did, where the T-Rex was unceremoniously killed off by the big new scary dino, the Spinosaurus. Whilst the intention was to make Spinosaurus seem like a powerful antagonist, it rubbed fans the wrong way after they saw their favourite dinosaur killed before their very eyes. It left a bad taste in their mouth for the rest of the film, with many people leaving the cinema hating it because of that one scene. In conclusion, from a story perspective, if Kong wins, he will have to step up and become the king of the monsters for Godzilla, or the world and all its inhabitants will fall to a devastating Titan uprising. And as far as an audience perspective goes, if it's handled right and the monsters are treated with respect, it would be a great send-off for Godzilla, but if handled poorly, it would spell doom for the film's box office and audience reception. Let's hope it's the first option. But what do you think will happen if Kong wins? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like, because it helps this video reach a wider audience. If you want more theory videos like this, then subscribe and stomp that notification button to become a resident of our lovely town of Dangerville today. I've been Alistair, and I'll see you residents in the next one.